Hey family, how you guys doing? Welcome to Phie.Love Intuitive Conversations. I hope you guys are good. Yeah. If you like my content, please do like, share, and subscribe. And if there's any negativity, if there's any hate, please do keep that on your side of the street, okay? Won't be acknowledged. So, family, in this video, I'm being guided by Spirit to get into the to talk a little bit about us making a habit out of going into personal consultation, right? And genuinely looking at ourselves and establishing at any specific given moment in time, okay, because energy and life is fluid, okay, ascertaining where exactly it is you stand in your life, okay, what is it that you want? What do you want out of life? And who do you believe you are at a specific moment in time? And as well, doing a kind of scan back on, your growth from the last time that you acknowledged yourself and your growth. How have you changed? And how has that change, how is where you are in your life right now aligned with what you have on the outside? What kind of people are you surrounded with? Are the people that you're surrounded with a true reflection of who you are today? Or are they a reflection of who you were 5, 2, 10 years ago? Have you got people stuck in your energy that are a reflection or that are a representation of a place that you used to come from, an energy you used to exist in? How many people are in your life right now when you do a scan? Maybe even just the most of the 5 people who you find that spend a lot of time in your space and your energy and have a direct impact on your own on your thought. People who you have giving you advice, how are they aligned to where you are? And are those relationships that you have aligned to where you are and who you are in your life right now, or are they strictly attachment and emotional based? That they don't even take in that, so much so that it doesn't even take into consideration how a person's energy or who they are might be misaligned with where you are and who you are and where you want to go in your life. Are we still together? Am I making sense? Are the people in your life that you're surrounded by people who you've actually, personally consulted yourself over and asked yourself the important, necessary questions about how they affect your life, how they make you feel? Is who they are aligned with what you are and where you want to go and what you want? Have you genuinely taken the time to figure out what it is that you want? Or are you waiting for someone else on the outside of you to ask you, what do you want? When last have you asked yourself, what is it that you want? Where is it that you want to go? And as I said earlier, energy in our life is always changing, it's always moving, it's fluid. Who you were and what you were 5 years ago, what you wanted 5 years ago, if you've, taken the time to grow and do some personal introspection and, bring a little bit of movement and shifting to the areas of your life where things maybe are monotonous or have gotten monotonous or were monotonous in the past, how have those shifts or those changes or your growth over time, what have they turned you into today? And how are the people that you have around you and that you're surrounded by directly hindering you or unconsciously hindering you or assisting and, contributing positively to your forward movement and your growth? do you have people stuck in your energy who you have, false illusions and belief systems around what around your ideas of loyalty that keep you stuck and people bound to you in your life, regardless of what is required of them, what is required of you to be in one another's lives? How do people make you feel? How do they affect your energy? Where haven't you taken the time to question appropriately why certain people are in your life? What is required of you to keep them there? What do they require of you? Why did they come into your life? How did they end up there? Why are they still around? Is it superficial things? If you were to minus something that they're maybe dependent or codependent on, would that change the dynamic of the relationship? Are they people who can just come as they are into your life? Can you come as you are into their lives? Can you exist in their lives as you are? Or are you existing in a persona? Are they people who believe they have to exist in a persona to be around you? Who are you at a specific moment in time? Who are you today? And how does your external world reflect that? Are you living out a persona to the external world? Not living in your own true alignment and own energy? So much so to the point you don't even realize you're surrounded by people who also live in their persona and believe they need to be in their persona to be around you. You've both all gotten so comfortable in your personas that you don't even realize that neither of you are actually really truly acting and living out of your own authentic selves. Do you meet on the same level of your toxic ways and habits? Is that who you're surrounded by? Are they aligned with what it is you want in your life and where you want to go? Do they hinder your ability to broaden your perspective? Are your fears of being alone, your fears of, outgrowing people, fears of outgrowing yourself, limitations and things that are hindering you? Are you surrounded by people who have their tentacles all up in you? People who hold you back because they need you and they make you feel needed? Do you ever ask yourself, how are the people in my life influencing me? Because if you're in someone's life, or if they're in your life, someone's influencing and the other one is what? What do they say? If you're not influencing me, what is it? Something around those lines. That if I'm not influencing you, you're influencing me. So who's doing the influencing in your relationships? Who's giving you advice? Is the advice that you get from people unbiased? Is it based on where they are in their lives? Is it aligned with where you want to go? Are you getting advice on your relationships from people who maybe aren't even aligned, or even people who haven't grown into a space of themselves yet being able to exist in places of being in a relationship? People who are underdeveloped in their emotional and mental states Are those the kinds of people that you're getting advice from on relationships and, getting direction on where you need to go, how you need to do things? Who's giving you your advice? Who's guiding you? Who's influencing you? Are you surrounded by people who, ended up in your life at a time or throughout a span of time in your life that you existed with absolutely no boundaries? What does that say about the quality of the people you have in your life? Are you aligned to thinking you need to have a quantity of people in your life over quality? Where are your priorities? These are the kinds of things Spirit wants us to go within and, consult with ourselves over. Be real with ourselves. Listen to the voice that, makes us feel like we want to clam up because it's telling us the truth. Not the one that says, you know what, maybe I'm just being too judgmental. If you're not going to be the one who calls judgment on yourself, who's going to do it? If you can't be real with yourself, who on the outside that's dependent on your energy is going to be real with you? Who on the outside of you is an enemy to your growth and change? Who on the outside of you requires you to always stay, in the same energy and remain the same? Who isn't on the outside you in the energy of growth and transformation and going within? Who on the outside of you says they love you, but would get very angry and very hurt if you were to decide to make a decision that was for your own highest good, that required you moving away from them? Who are you holding your growth and your new chapter back for on the outside of your life? What fears are causing you to hold yourself back from going into new beginnings? What ideas do you have around family? Are you somebody who has a difficult time detaching from old friends and groups and cliques and all those things? But the other side of you wants to move into a different space, into a life where you can build and you can grow and have some sort of stability and build with somebody. But you're stuck in two worlds, right? You may have the divine trying to move you into a direction of what your heart says that you want, what your true energy and your actual, the actual level of growth that you truly exist on may want to move you into completely. But you have the attachments and the other things of your past or of the people you have around you hanging on to you and needing you to stay the same. People who you haven't vetted, people who you've just kind of developed, over time, your emotional meshing and attachments with, because, throughout your time together, you found some kind of common ground with each other, but you never really questioned the kind of influence and impact either of you have on one another and your lives. Does your growth require you to start moving into a different realm of existence with different people? But the people you have in your life, the energy you still have your energy existing in, is a hindrance to that? The people you surround yourself with are people and energy that, maybe where the divine might be trying to guide you isn't actually really anything, isn't, the energy that you might still have attached to you isn't an energy that's appealing and attractive to other higher energies or places, and people who exist in different areas of experience and consciousness, might not be very attracted or, how to say, welcoming. I don't even want to say welcoming. The energies just don't align, and that can be a hindrance. It could just be a decision or a relationship away. I hope what I'm saying is making sense. With regards to your relationships and who you are, what is the reality of it all? Where are you aligned? Where is it not aligned? Where do you need to take the time to, do some questioning around the people that you exist with and who you still have in your energy? Do you need to be attached to the people you were with in high school? Do you need to be attached to the person who you trauma bonded with over really old problems that happened 6 years ago? But your ideas of loyalty and your attachment and maybe, being too emotional, because we tend to be also very emotional with certain relationships in our lives that, the emotions around the relationship take over the actual reality. Whose energy do you have influencing you? Whose way of thinking and their conscience and their energy that you find yourself attached to is actually influencing your own and hindering other decisions you need to make in other areas of your life, other movements you need to make, other steps forward you need to make that might not be completely perceivable when you still have old energy and old ways of being and people and the conscience and energy of people who exist in lower forms and states of that still meshed up in your energy. I don't know why we're talking about this today, but I guess the divine really wants people to, put themselves first. Put yourself first. Stop stressing so much about the relationships on the outside of you, which in most cases are still hanging around in your life and based on frivolous things that are not conducive to your growth and your forward movement at all. And you find yourself stuck in some illusion that the relationship might be something that is for your highest good, but may actually be a hindrance to you being able to evolve into something else and move your spiral up. Okay? You have to, we have to grow. We have to be okay with releasing and letting people go and rising above the attachments, rising above our insecurities, being real about why we have certain people and relationships in our lives. What aspects of ourselves do they soothe? Are they just there because of our fear of abandonment? Are they just there because of our insecurities? Are they just there because we're trying to portray some sort of image to the world? Do you still have are you a full-grown adult who still has his mother or her mother or his father or her father, constantly being the background noise and the point of influence and the person you run to for advice instead of relying on your own energy? That can be a big deal, especially when the divine is trying to move you into certain relationships that are, of a divine nature, right? Those kinds of relationships require people to be comfortable in their independent mind and thought and free of any kinds of external influences that could hinder such a relationship existing and moving forward and growing and being prosperous. all the other relationships outside of that, they have a tendency to be more of a karmic nature, and the ones that, trigger and challenge the lower aspects of ourselves that we need to grow out of. So be real with yourself about where you have fear, where you're scared to exist in your own independent thought and trust yourself, who you're taking advice from, and who's dependent on you, your resources, your energy, and who exactly might be old energy that doesn't need to still be attached or connected to your energy and influencing your state, consciously or unconsciously. I hope what I've said has made sense. Anyway, let me get into a card or two and wrap up our video. Yeah, I'll pull today from the Trust Your Vibes deck by Sonia Chuket, and see what Spirit has to give us as a support to our conversation, or give someone a nudge in a specific direction who's watching our video, okay? Let's see. Feed your spirit. That's what came out before I was done. So what I'm getting here is, by taking the time to consult yourself, that's also feeding your spirit. And by consulting yourself, you also open yourself up to the divine guidance of what is best for you and for your highest good, and not aligning not aligning that advice, that, or how am I going to say this, not aligning yourself to what the outside thinks is for your highest good, what the outside thinks is right for you. Get to a point of trusting that you know what is right for you. Not your family members, not your friends, not the TV, not the YouTube, but you know what is right for you. You feed your spirit, and your spirit will have a chance to feed you too. And over time, you won't want any other input outside of what the spirit gives you, because that'll be aligned to, perfectly for you and your purpose and your forward movement. But we need to get into a place where we consciously remove all these attachments and tentacles and things that the spirit, that the system has gotten us all wrapped up into, and had us attach ourselves to, by means of implanting insecurities and fear and worry and all those things, fear of exclusion, and all those things that make us attached to people, places, and things on the outside of us, and reject ourselves and putting ourselves first. Okay? Regularly get into the habit of asking yourself, what do I want? It's not selfish. What do I want above what everything and everyone else on the outside wants of me and my energy? Okay? What you want matters most. It's your experience, it's your simulation, it's your reality, and it's your path. Okay? Let's see what the book has to say. Number 47. Feed your spirit. Just as you must feed your body, you must also feed your spirit. It makes you stronger, energized, and more powerful. Most people are unaware of what feeds their spirit. But even if they know, they neglect to follow through. Put yourself first, okay? Don't be guilty of this. Feeding your spirit comes from choosing experiences that empower you and help you feel more authentic, spontaneous, and joyfully alive. Your spirit's food is personal. Only you know what your spirit hungers for. My spirit, for example, is fed by exercise, dancing, time with my children, good coffee, and walks with my husband. I don't have any of those things, but that's what the book says. What feeds another may be a run on the beach, cooking, singing, or sleeping on a down pillow. Think about your spirit's diet. The more you feed it, the stronger it becomes. And when your spirit is strong, your vibes are loud and clear. Don't be a psychic anorexic. Don't be a psychic anorexic. Feed your spirit every day. Yes. So family, align to yourself, okay? Regularly check in with yourself and, ascertain where you are in your journey, where you are in your growth. Who am I today? Don't get stuck in needing to be the person you were a year or 5 years ago. You need to be free to grow and change and be fluid in your energy and your experience and your growth. Okay? Okay. Let's pull one more card. I'll pull from the Ascended Masters, okay, by Doreen Virtue. Okay, let's see what Spirit has to assist us or give us as a contribution to our talk, or nudge somebody who's watching the video in a specific direction. Okay, now please have one card, Spirit. Thank you. Artistic expression. Be creative from your own energy. Okay, take the time for a little bit of solitude, find your peace. When you're in the present and when you're in solitude, that's where creation begins. Creation comes from the present moment, okay? It doesn't come from the past, it doesn't come from the future. Creation is based on your present moment. If you know, you know. Those with the ears to hear will understand what I'm saying, okay? You can't be in your present moment when you're, wrapped up in the conscience and the energy of this person who's pulling at you and needs your energy and influencing you, or the past, or whatever else it is that has you stressing, whether it's the future or, be present, and your creation for your next moment, your creation for the next step in your journey will come from that, okay? And trust it. Have faith and don't look for the validation on the outside. Make sure you build a reality that's based off of who you are and what it is that you want. You. Okay? Let's see what the book has to say. That is by Paul the Venetian, Ascended Master. Artistic expression. There we go. This card signals that your artistic talents are in need of creative expression. You have hidden talents that lie dormant. This trapped energy can make you feel tired, restless, and anxious, and can lead to addictions if the energy isn't expressed. Even if your artistic abilities feel unpolished, they need an outlet. Make time today to draw, paint, sing, play music, write, take photographs, make jewelry, sew, dance, or do something artistic and creative. You may find the key to your life's purpose and ideal career through this process. Yes. Both those two cards had some kind of similarity in them, right? With tapping into your spirit and your creativity. So I guess maybe someone who's watching this video has been stuck in too much of a monotonous way of living, right? And may need to just add something new and something different into their routine or their life, or like they've said, get into something that's a little creative and outside of the box. Additional meanings for this card. take a class to learn a new artistic skill. One of your loved ones is an artist. Express your true feelings. Your life's purpose involves an artistic endeavor, such as writing or playing music. That was nice, and yes, they had many similarities between the two of them, but that's okay. Anyway, family, I will see you in the next video. I hope this resonated, and yeah, bye.